Guys back here. Jay Williams, watch Zion working inside, staying with it.
He's big, he's strong, he's aggressive. That's the thing. Look, he can go against bigger players much easier. But I mean bigger, I pretty much mean taller.
Stand by, throw it up, and throw it down. Lonzo to Zion. Jay Will.
This is what Zion does so well, just rim running in transition and really that extra bounce and that explosion that he brings to a team.
And look at that play. But they're just getting out of his way.
Yeah. What are you going to do? You going to get in the way of that train?
There is no better show right now than Zion in the open floor. And then here he is again working hard on the offensive glass. He would get stuff done last night, but this was a close game. Look, they've got 4 guys around him, Uncle Seth.
4 guys around him, not enough.
Not
He's
enough.
going to play right through that contact. He's so quick off the floor.
Hart, Zion. Yes, he had 5 dunks in the first half. Let's go to the fourth quarter because this was an important game for the Pelicans, who were chasing a playoff spot. Timberwolves are down 4. Zion getting caught there on the defensive end. The Timberwolves were 8 of 14 when Zion was the primary. Pelicans are down, and they're going to fall out of this thing. Look at the Timberwolves getting it done in transition ahead of the pack. Zion would finish with 25 points and 8 rebounds, but a bad loss for the Pelicans. They lose by 5 at home to the T-Wolves, and so New Orleans falls 4 games out of the 8 seed in the Western Conference. But here's the good news. They do have the 3rd easiest remaining schedule. The Grizzlies, who have that spot right now, have the hardest. Our analytics, however, see Portland as the team most likely to grab the 8th spot. So I feel like there were 2 conversations.
That just changed because I feel like 2 days ago it was by far the
It
Pelicans.
was New Orleans,
That's the way
I
it
think,
happens
last night's
when
game.
When
Obviously.
people win and lose, the numbers are going to keep changing, Jay.
Yeah, sorry, Jay.
Wow, thanks.
The nastiness
2
between
geniuses
the 2
right
of you.
here.
There are 2
One game.
Yeah.
2 pieces of this conversation to have. One of them is about Zion. And did we find, I'm not going to say a fatal flaw, but a flaw in his game last night on the defensive end?
Yes, the team scored 97 points in 33 minutes when Zion was on the court. And we're going to see it down in these tapes. Like, the pace of the game was so fast. It was at 117. And when Zion was off the court, it was at 101. But these are just effort plays. You have to stop the basketball. You're the only person in between your man and the rim. Once again, off of PNR. Just the lack of effort to get out to close out on Herman Gomez, who had 19 points last night. Once again, off of PNR, dribble handoff. Okay, here it comes. And just he's able to turn the corner. So I think there's still room for improvement. But obviously, this is something that teams are starting to do now. If you pick up the pace of the game, you take away Zion's legs defensively.
Coach, what do you see there? What
I see a total lack of effort. Here's the deal. Everyone talks about the 3rd easiest schedule left in the NBA. That's great. Then beat the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Because you know what the deal is? I don't care what your schedule is. This is a game you had to win.
Correct.
If you're going to be a playoff team, you win this game. If you don't show up, if you don't defend, if you don't play hard, you know what? That's a game you can't get back.
Yes, RJ, let's talk about it from that standpoint, because they're playing him in the back-to-backs. They play against Dallas tonight. They're playing him because they're trying to make this playoff push, and now they're 4 games out.
They're not going to make the postseason. They're not going to make the postseason only because they put themselves at such a deficit, and it's not their fault. Their best player was not there for 60 games of the season. So my thing about the way that he is playing right now is so impressive, but there's going to be flaws. We're talking about a 19-year-old. Yes, he knows the dunks are great. The fast breaks are great. That's what young players a lot of times focus on. But the little things, the transition defense, the guarding pick and roll, that's the next area that he has to make a jump in order for them and him to be a high-level team.
The Pelicans look like a really young basketball team, and they are a young basketball team. Not being ready to play, not defending, not playing hard, giving up the easy scoring opportunities, not being connected defensively. They didn't look like a playoff team.
See, their future is extraordinarily bright with all those young guys, so that's not a problem. But it is for Jay and me, because we have a bet with Jalen Rose.
That's a dumb bet.
That the Pelicans are going to make the playoffs.
That's a stupid bet.
You know what's really dumb? They were 2 games out. Literally 3 days ago, RJ. Like, they were on the verge. So these are games, it is fluid, but these are games that if they won these games,
it's about
the way that
leaking
Memphis has the
fluid.
hardest schedule,
Those games are going to be leaking
actually
fluid.
feasible. So when
It's
Richard
leaking.
gets up in here and starts talking about things that, this definitely not happened, he has no idea.
They're not going to make the postseason.
Gentlemen, let's run the floor around some of the other. Hey, how about a guy who scored 51 last night, and his name is Caris LeVert, and they rallied, the Nets did, for an overtime win in Boston. RJ, thoughts?
This man had 14 to start the fourth quarter.
17.
17 to start the fourth quarter. Are you sure he had 17?
I'm positive.
Oh, okay, well, he had
watched the
17 points. How many games you watched last night?
I watched all the games.
Ball. Stop it.
I watched
Stop your
all the
lie.
games, Richard.
They're all at the same time, Jay.
Do your job.
Good job,
Do your
Karis.
homework, Richard.
Good job, Karis. I'll be there tonight.
I would
Will
like
you?
to apologize to Caris LeVert for the fact that we did not analyze his 51-point performance at all. Meanwhile, Jay, Clippers beat the Thunder last night. How good do they look?
The Clippers are one of the deepest teams there is in the league. Love their scoring punch. I know they barely beat the 76ers. People were worried about them. But look, this team will be ready when playoff time comes.
And then Seth, Tim Duncan filled in for Greg Popovich as head coach last night and picked up his first coaching win, although technically it goes on Popovich's record. What'd you see from Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan being Tim Duncan, basically self-deprecating, giving everyone else the credit, being a great teammate, making fun of himself during the course of the game, saying, what did I do? I stood up and I talked to the officials. That's Tim Duncan.
Making fun. Like, what? Tim Duncan has been carried by people his entire life. Right, except his hairdresser, whoever's doing his hair.
You guys see what I do on a daily
you shut up.
basis with
You
him?
shut up right now. Where's the camera?
That's a great way for kids to talk to people.
Tim Duncan has been given credit for so many things that he hadn't done. And even tonight, this is his first win. He didn't do anything. This was Will. This was Becky Hammond. He said he just stood up and was running his mouth, and good things happened. I am so mad.
So I know we're going 5 to from Ali, but wait. We're saying he is the best power forward to ever play the game. You're saying that he's been giving this kind of credit.
He's been carried by Pop, Tony, Manu, Bruce Bowen, and now here he gets his first coaching win. He did not.